moved down from Newcastle. Peter Dixon is preferred to Lee Mears at hooker. Stuart Hooper and Danny Grucock form the second row. Grucock back and raring to go at the age of nearly 37. Andy Beattie also very experienced now. He's at blindside with the signing from the Brumbies. Julian Salvi at 7 in Michael Lipman's old shirt. Ben Skirving has come from Saracens, and he and Salvi need to impress early on, with Luke Watson arriving soon. Michael Claessens has long since made the journey from South Africa. He captains the club this season. He does not have Butch James with him, though, until at least Christmas, so Ryan Davis steps in, just as he did at the end of last season. A broken leg in training in Portugal has denied Ollie Barkley a start against the club he played for last season. Shontaine Happy and Tom Cheeseman are centres in Bath's new Alex Crockett-less world. Matt Carraro in from the Waratahs keeps out another Matt Banahan, and Joe Maddock, the nation's top try scorer last season. He's wearing 14. Nicker Bendenon is 15. And we'll look at the replacements, and when we do, we must get used to seeing a number 23 with the extra front row cover thrown in now to help prevent uncontested scrums. And Gloucester have 6 forwards in all in reserve. New signings, Darren Daviduck and Pierre Capdeville are the 2 props. Young Freddie Burns is Bath born, by the way, could make his Premiership debut against his club from the town where he first learned how to play rugby. So here come Bath. So important, the start. Bath's story ended in a pretty sorry way in that semi-final, rather limp way. Grucock back, show a bit of leadership in the pack. In that pack, of course, David Wilson.
Danny Grucock hugely impressed with David Wilson, who's signed from Newcastle. Wilson is the man Bath have signed, hoping he can fill the considerable shirt of Matt Stevens. If he does, England expectations await.
Gloucester lost on the first weekend last season to Leicester, and that rather dictated the way things went from there. Kingsholm never quite felt like it should feel. And the end story for them was the demise of Director of Rugby Dean Ryan. But a clean slate for Gloucester too. I think it's fair to say 6 in the Premiership is not good enough for a club of this size or name. Mike Tyndall, the captain. Gareth Delve, his co-captain, but Tyndall the leader in the side today as Gloucester look to get it back.
No shortage of passion. Local lad Ryan Lamb has gone, but the man who was so close to being a Lion, Nicky Robinson, has arrived from Cardiff Blues. The outstanding fly half in the Heineken Cup last season. He's added confidence and maturity to his undoubted rugby brain. He may be one of the Guinness Premiership key signings of this season.
Referee is Andrew Small, New Zealander for this very local affair. Yesterday we had a London double-header. Today a West Country head-to-head. A clash to light of any weekend of the season, let alone the first. Here's Dixon acting as the scrum half and doing a very good job of it. Lost by Salvi, not his greatest first touch in the Premiership. And there, we're in Gloucester colours now. Fuma Onusapolu, but it's a turnover here for Bath, and Claessen's had a chance to give it to Davis, and out it goes to Andy Beattie. Claessen's again. Flatman. Delve had gone offside, and there's the penalty for it.
Well, we saw some flash points in the London doubleheader yesterday. We know about the 45-second sending off of George Robson. The first game had some. Start of the season, all the teams are pumped up. You will see a lot of aggression. And here's a little trip you can see. There it is. Bath get away with it. Stuart Hooper was the man there. I think he knows what he's doing. A little bit lucky there.
Captain against the Argentina Jaguars in the Churchill Cup. Stuart Hooper, Grewcock's second row partner. But the penalty is Bath's. And it's Ryan Davis. And a lot on this young man's shoulders at the start of the season. In the absence of James and Barkley. Davis with that first kick. They sort of held its line and he didn't want it to. He wanted it to drift in. So it's a miss from Davis.
Very important man for Bath until Butch James gets back. He's had an uninterrupted run in terms of pre-season training. Steve Meehan's making the point that he's very confident, but he knows that he is a crucial man for Bath, and he knows that he's a targeted man.
Butch James, 212 points last season in the Premiership.
Come out, Bath, come out!
So Apollo involved again. The Samoa international, and there Glos to get a penalty in front of the shed, much to the joy of that particular part of the ground.
Useful for Nicky Robinson here, in front of the shed. His first touch in Gloucester colours. 6 metres from touch. It's a perfect angle to find a good, solid kick. Although it is quite blustery, and of course he's a left footer as well. That is not a bad kick.
That's the middle, take the stick. Perfect. Perfect, thank you.
A bending and round the wrong side, off his feet. No doubt about that. First chance. Will it go Alex Brown?
Scott Lawson to throw it. It goes to Atwood, ex of Bristol, with the short journey. Very highly rated as well. Gloucester weren't the only ones in for him. They will put into this scrum just for a moment. Claessen's thought that was coming back on the Bath side.
Yeah, very good competitive start, I think, from Bath at the breakdown at the moment. They're extremely competitive. They've nicked one, they were pushing there. Here's Atwood. I know Richard Hill, who's now in France, had huge expectations in terms of Atwood's career, and he was just disappointed they didn't get the chance at Bristol. A really talented footballer.
You remember a couple of years ago in the Middlesex Sevens, he was all over the place, wasn't he? In a very positive way.
Stay there, nine black.
Good solid scrum.
Delve at the back of it. That's poor off to Lawson, gave the scrum half no chance there. And the knock-on leads to Bath ball at the scrum now.
Yeah, Gareth Dell will be disappointed there, won't he? Because that was rock solid from his pack, and he's better than that. That was a poor pass. It didn't really give Lawson any chance at all. And midfield, that's a very good attacking position. That's a bad ball for the Scottish scrum half.
No, wait for twos, wait for twos. Crouch. Touch. Paul English. Get off at 7.
There's Claessen's.
What's the okay?
Davis. And Carraro's come off the wing. He's the man who signed from the New South Wales Waratahs. He's played for Australia A. And he's certainly impressed since he arrived at the club, both in the pre-season friendlies and in training. And those are the reasons why Mears and Bannahan have been left out. Let's go down to Scott Quinnell, who's on the front line for us. Scotty.
Yeah, two big men here, Somerville, and we got Flatman. They're going at it. Two good body angles. Look, they're both strong. They go down. They're almost, I think they're both eating grass at this stage, but they just manage to come back up. That's going to be a big contest this afternoon.
Always depressing when you hear Scott talking about people eating grass first weekend of the season. All sounds a little too bovine, but I think this game will have a bit of bullish stuff to it.
The offence there was for closing the gap at the line out, and Nicky Robinson from the free kick hoists the high one. Now who's going to take this? Maybe Maddock gets a boot on it. And that's gone out on the full. We're hearing also of a change on the Bath bench that we should bring, on the Gloucester bench, which we should bring to the attention of you. Satala is out and Molinar is in. More on that in a second.
James Simpson done just eased off that ball by Tom Cheeseman. Having said that, he looks pretty much 50-50 there. Lawson's covering was superb. First part was brilliant. The kick was horrible.
Seppo Satala apparently hurt himself in the warm-up, bit of a strain, so Tim Molinar is in. He's signed from Nottingham, he's a centre, so it changes the balance. What about the Bath backs here? Oh, Bendenham was cutting a line, but never got himself in a position to take that particular pass.
Well, they worked the blindside wing into space there, and I just felt that first day Blues there, Maddock and Bendenham are so dangerous there, but they're just not quite right. He stays wide there, he doesn't need to step in there. So Gloucester have covered well, they've got their numbers and they've counted pretty well there, but Bath just fixed a little man, little space.
These two have met this season, a pre-season friendly testimonial match for Andy Hazel in conjunction with Lee Mears. Finished as a draw, 19 apiece.
Yeah, often the way with testimonials, and you know, people say there's no such thing as a Bath Gloucester friendly. The testimonials can be. This is different. Scott, you're on the front line still.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. You know, it's the two open sides. Salvi, here he is. Hazel, welcome to the Guinness Premiership. He's just holding him, the old warrior. He'll just hold him in there. It's going to be a good battle again with those sevens.
Andy Hazel, as I said right at the start, not always the first choice of Dean Ryan.
Well, Hazel's a very interesting player, though, isn't he? Because he's not the biggest. What do you want from Andy Hazel? He's a fast-track specialist. At the start of a season, when the ground is firm, at the end of the season, when the dust is kicking up, this guy is spectacular. Sometimes he just gets bogged down in the mud and the heavier men get to him. But this is Hazel territory.
David Wilson has recovered from
touch, pause, engage.
his knock and is part of this scrum.
Stay there, 9 blue. Stay there. 9 blue, thank you.
Secure enough ball there for Lawson to Robinson. And Bendenham locates the ball. And tries to get himself in a position as it's rolling to... Well, Bath's good thinking, not quite a long enough body, needed a second row there.
Well, they needed Matt Banahan on the left wing. He might just about have got there, but he's on the bench.
Yeah, had he been touched while it was still rolling and Bendenham was out of play, then of course would have gone all the way back for a scrum where Robinson kicked the ball. It didn't. It's a 22, and here's Robinson again. Sharples is chasing this. Very quick Charlie Sharples, he might get it as it ricochets off Maddock. That creates the offside, and it's a penalty for Gloucester right in front of the post.
Joe Maddock wasn't under a great deal of pressure there, and that's a soft option there. Not a bad kick from Robinson, but Maddock, he would expect to do better than that. You could see no one really near him, and a great chance for Robinson.
And we talked about the pressure on Ryan Davis, but also on Nicky Robinson too, as he's given this chance by the mistake from Joe Maddock. 11 tries last season, could have conceded 3 points here. Robinson, who wasn't the first choice at the Cardiff Blues, of course, Ben Blair and his very reliable boot made sure that he was the number 2 kicker there. He's the number 1 at Gloucester today. And that exactly the start that he would have wanted. The simple kick, it's 3 points.
Bad error there. Joe Maddock comes to the ball, and we can now just see, when you look at this, that's the 10-metre zone. There's only one Gloucester player inside it. He's not under any real pressure at all, and that's a really soft penalty that's given away from Bath.
Alex Brown with the catch. Another one of the ex-Bath Brigade. And a spell there, of course, before he went to Bristol. And Robinson, doesn't matter because Julian Selvy's got himself offside there. A little bit too keen, the new man, the former Brumby, breaking the line.
What's interesting there as well, I mean, Nicky Robinson, very, very comfortable on his left foot, but you can see he just steps onto the right foot quite comfortably there, reasonably two-footed. Good pressure from Salvi. I mean, he's a very good player as well, Salvi. He didn't start too often on the open side for the Brumbies because of a bloke called George Smith. That doesn't make him a bad player. He's trying to get to Robinson. Robinson Bath know it's predominantly left foot, but look, he's quick on the right foot and he gets that ball away and gets the penalty.
Also identified as a leader in Australia as a youngster, captained Aussie's school, Selby, and also went on to captain the Australian under-21 side. Lawson, or that might fall for Skirving, nearly did. It is a knock-on. And brought away by Scott Lawson, his Rory Lawson. And that does find its target. Robinson, Tyndall away through the middle, charging up to try and hit a Bendingham. And he puts a lot of pressure on there, Mike Tyndall. And may have been hurt in the process.
Super kick from Robinson.
Referee calls them back for the knock-on, and Tyndall will need treatment.
Awful lot of kicking coming from the Gloucester fly half at the moment, but reasonably effective as the ex-Bath man Tyndall, who really is a terrier chasing a kick, down at the moment. A Bendon never getting to that ball. Tyndall's on him. Is it a knee? Clutching his side there. He'll live, he's a hard man, Mike Tyndall.
Well, there aren't many in this game that stay down unnecessarily, but he's right at the top of the list for those who really have to be hurt to need the physio.
His hardness is a badge of honour, and it is not perceived. It's real, all right.
Free kick, and Dell wants to take it quickly. Bath hadn't really retreated 10 metres, according to Andrew Small.
No, 7. Vantage is over.
Robinson, Tyndall back on his feet, typically.
Stay here.
Lawson to Strokosh. Haven't seen too much of him so far with ball in hand. Very strong carrier of the ball. But in went Selby again. That's what he's been doing for Bath
Take a step, guards.
in the pre-season games. It was Cheeseman. And Gloucester infringing at that breakdown.
13 red.
A lot of whistling at the moment, isn't there? A lot of whistling in the opening 12 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Some territorial kicking. Some pretty decent stuff from Nicky Robinson. Now Ryan Davis, who's missed a kick, will just want to find a solid touch. He'll be feeling nerves still. He knows there's big expectations. He knows that other teams see Ryan Davis as potentially a weak chink in the team. He's got to be strong and lead this team.
Well, he showed his nerve, didn't he, in that game against Newcastle last season. Came through. That early miss. That's a nice ball to Carraro, who scored here in the friendly, along with Davis. Both got tries in that match. There's Cheeseman. Davis. Happy.
Release at 12. Tackle away.
I think Bath expecting a big season from Shantaine Happy, the centre. Now that he's settled into Union, they've got a penalty here.
Rocket formed behind you. 7 red offside.
Hape loves to come on the inside, always attacks the weak shoulder. Here's Bath. Lovely little inside ball from Ryan Davis. He's committed Hazel, and as a fly half, he's got the open side where he wants it. People watching will think, well, does he want an open side right in his face? And the answer is yes, because that just opens up a metre inside. And Carraro just found a little bit of a gap, and then Harpe steps in. I think it's a slight issue with the man. He's got good hands and he's got a wonderful offloading game, but he always steps in, and I just wonder whether Gloucester and other Premiership teams, when they face Bath, will say, OK, we'll bring him inside. This is what he does so well, but it's off the right foot. He's always looking for that little offload there. Gloucester get numbers. This time the penalty goes to Bath.
When he does offload, there's genuine class there, no doubt about that. Maybe, as you say, a telegraph step. Here's Davis to level it up. He's missed to the right again.
Not just missed to the right, Miles, he's missed quite badly there. Nick Evans yesterday for Quins, you saw a couple of hit kits get extreme spin on it from the bottom side, and you know that's a bad strike. And the worry for Davis isn't just the miss, it's the fact that the contact wasn't good.
Maddock on the counter-attack. You have to gather your points here.
He's moved, play on.
To keep the crowd out of it. And Benderden to Carraro. Also a centre. Some feel that's his better position, but starting the season on the wing. Davis, well, he's just given it away in the end to Lawson. And Scott Lawson, this is Rory Lawson. And now Robinson, and maybe just a hint of space on that far side. Fuma Onusapolo with the kick. Simpson-Daniel is chasing. Maddock very quickly back to his feet, then bumped off his feet. And Gloucester arrive in numbers. Home crowd like this. Out it comes from the right. Here goes Atwood through the middle, trying to spin his way out of the tackle.
Well, Simpson-Daniel's round on the right flank now.
And Sharples is still on the right. Simpson-Daniel lurks on the left as the only man. Slowed it down here, Bath. Needed to. Atwood tries to get it going again.
Oh, that's strong.
Bit of power there from the second row. It was required.
No 6, no 5.
And it was delivered.
Guards.
Lawson, Robinson, it's going to be tight here. Tyndall.
Move tacklers.
Helped by Sharples.
Stay here.
Delve. Being patient. Now is it time for the strike? Seem to be a lot of men out there again. On it goes to Simpson-Daniel, who scores. Patience rewarded. And Gloucester looking for that hard edge this season, the ability to finish, having created the try-scoring moment, while James Simpson-Daniel doesn't waste those.
Very patient. But what a fine pass. Nicky Robinson saw the space, but Sarpolu, the former Bath man, waits there. First of all, it's the chip. He's going to be involved again. His chip puts them under pressure. Simpson-Daniel doesn't commit a penalty, and then they go right to left. Robinson puts a lovely ball. That's the great pass, though. Sarpolu, it's a little bit tentative, but he knows he hasn't got time to gather it. It's got to go through those hands quickly. Simpson-Daniel hasn't got flat. He dives over, and Gloucester have what they want, the lead. Lovely midfield pass in there. Good vision from Nicky Robinson. An excellent execution from the Samoan Sarpola, who hurts his old club.
And a good take from Simpson-Daniel. Robinson. Well, that will endear him to the Gloucester fans, no doubt about that. He had that simple penalty from in front, but that conversion along with the pass. Nicky Robinson is certainly a Gloucester man now.
Oh, Maddock did nothing wrong there. He came in hard. I guess you could say, yes, he did. He didn't get Sarpolu, but he committed himself, and the Samoans' hands were very quick there. Patient stuff from Gloucester, and a fine finish. And some problems early on for Bath.
Man in front.
He says man in front. It could have been men in front there. So often that is not picked up, but it was there by Andrew Small. Celebration in the shed. Talked about that hard edge that they're looking for to make the difference between challenger and champion. That's what they want.
Only in sevens. No, gentlemen, balls away, balls away.
Leave it.
Thank you. Crouch.
It's the old cliche, isn't it?
Touch.
Cardinal sin,
Engage.
but you concede 7
going on?
points and then you just hand over the scrum. And it is a solid Gloucester scrum.
Robinson.
No, hold, 6, hold. On now. Yep, thanks. Come at the mark for me, please.
Maddock orders a bended and away for exactly that, to create that little bit more time and space for the fullback to clear, which he does, but it will still be Gloucester ball.
Sort of, they advance, what, 15 metres there, and they get the line out instead of the scrum, but the line out's going well. Atwood has started very well in a West Country derby, and Delve, after a bad early pass, he's just getting his game going. I think it was a very disappointing year for Gloucester last season. Delve stood out in the Cherry and Whites as an outstanding performer.
Saw footage of the Ospreys game that Gloucester played, and Atwood and Brown worked really well as a combination.
Well, they're very athletic, aren't they? I mean, Bath need to get into these two because they are very springy. Good target for Scott Lawson. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful jump, not a beautiful throw.
It's not quite beautiful enough for Andrew Small. Not straight, the decision.
And I don't think there's much doubt Andrew Small is spot on there. That's down the Gloucester channel.
Crouch. Touch. Forward. Engage.
Pressure on that scrum. Clausen clears it quickly. Abandoned.
Onside, play on.
Tom Voice coming across, wearing 15. Man who scored 58 Premiership tries.
Bath to the line.
He had a couple of brilliant years for Wasps when he played for England. I think it's fair to say Tom Voice's career nosedived a bit last year. He'll be looking to just resuscitate his career. I must admit, you look at his age and you think 28, he seems to have been around a long time. I was quite surprised.
Had the same feeling when I checked it this week. Couldn't believe it, because he's got that debut feeling today, which is normally reserved for the youngsters breaking into the game. So he will be feeling a little bit nervous despite all that experience, but I agree, 28, there's still some mileage there. Trying to blast it up through the middle, Gloucester.
It's carried back.
They've looked to beef it up
Stop.
in
Yep,
the
wings
centre
on now.
department
Yep.
with the signing of Fuma Honest Apollo. And also the
10
late
metres
replacement
back, keep
coming onto the
coming,
bench,
right out.
the 11th hour, Tim Molinar. He's a big lad too. Robinson, not as big, but he's a fly half, and he's here to
Leaving now 7 yards. Feet.
orchestrate it all.
Guards. Get behind the ball.
Go to the blind side. That was Delve. And Hazel the link. And Strokosh too, so the back row in full evidence.
You weren't the tackler, you're offside. Same as their 7.
Same offence.
Captain.
A lot of offences as well, aren't they?
The tackle law regarding entry has not changed. Both 7s, they're not the original tacklers, they're not putting their hands on the ball first, they cannot come in from the wrong side, both teams.
3 penalties already conceded by Julian Salvi. It's the sort of disciplinary problem that cost you games in tight matches.
Offside, time is on.
Although Gloucester at the moment, after 20 minutes, will think maybe this won't be tight. Good start, 10-0 up.
Well, Gloucester last season were the worst offenders, weren't they? They were top of the penalty conceded list.
Now, what's quite interesting, normally the red arrow, that's where Gloucester would love to get to Ryan Davis, but Davis is circled. He's defending it inside centre. Carraro's in on this side, and Maddock is in on the other side. But even so, Gloucester went one wider, and they got to the fly half. They are trying to rough him up, even though Bath are hiding him.
Much more down the middle from Scott Lawson.
It's your own man there. 8 are out now. 8 out. 8 out. Use it! Use it!
Well, Gloucester would have used it had their scrum half been able to control it.
Scrum down, blue ball.
Good attacking position there. Loss for Gloucester, but Bath very competitive at the breakdown. Many other aspects of the game they'll be worried about.
Let's go.
No real fluency in attack. There is this rusty opening day feel to their game. At the moment, it's Gloucester who've had the one gilt-edged chance, and they took it. 10-0 is a good lead.
Both teams, step back. Both of you on the engage, please. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Well, that's come squirting out, and in the battle of the nines, Rory Lawson the quickest there. And again, that's sloppy.
Still advantage.
Atwood has a long way to go down, but it's another knock-on. And it's Clarson's. Davis, Cheeseman.
Advantage over.
Bumped by Tyndall, but I think Tyndall was just committed to the challenge. His Voice. He's got himself out of that hole very well indeed. Tom Boyce losing Carraro. Nimble footwork.
Did all right there, Voice. Some good pressure there. It wasn't a bad kick from Cheeseman. Bath had gone early. Well, they wanted to go, but the line-out was formed, according to Andrew Small. You can see him saying it there. Good scrum from Gloucester, and Lawson just beats Clarson's to it. He had the advantage of just seeing that ball squirt out. The split-second battles are just going the way of the Cherry and Whites at the moment, aren't they?
Dixon. Goes Grucott. This is Clarson's. Davis. Carraro's off the wing, but it's going in midfield. And that's why Cheeseman showing good power there. Clarson's more like it from Bath. Davis. Happy. He's held by Tyndall. Clarson's. Couldn't get the ball to David Wilson. Abandoned to Maddock. Here's Cheeseman again. He's got Carraro outside. Nicky Robinson is trying to do the upending here. It's another long blast from Andrew Small, and it's another penalty. Let's sort this out, otherwise we're not going to have a fluid game, are we?
Yeah, and there's nothing serious in terms of the penalties being given away, but it's such a crucial and such a constant battle, the breakdown, that Andrew Small maybe has to make an example. You know, you wouldn't look at any one individual and say they deserve to go, but there are a lot of penalties, and it's just stopping the game flowing. Very good kick from Robinson. Beautiful kick.
Gained a lot of ground there. Because it was a penalty, of course, Gloucester will throw to this line out. He really went for it there, didn't he?
I think he'll be quite pleased with his first half hour in Gloucester colours. I mean, that's a fine strike. Left footer, the perfect side for him. Not far short of being the perfect kick.
Rory Lawson to Nicky Robinson. Fuma Onosapolo, who's going to get this? Well, Sharples is across, got Simpson-Daniel outside. It's a good delivery. Simpson-Daniel's looking for another. And he's driven on there. And he might be driven over. Andrew Small looks held up, he says.
Look at Sharp, the Gloucester back. Charlie Sharples, a 20-year-old. He's wearing 11, but he's playing right wing. He was the extra man there. And he gave Simpson-Daniel half a chance. And he's in one of those moods. If you give him a few half chances, he's going to take even more of them. Well played, Sharples. Abendinen doesn't make the first tackle. Ryan Davis is there first of all. And in the end, that's very good defence from the Bath team, because Gloucester are surging for the line. This is a very big scrum because Bath have not started well. And Gloucester, this place would explode with excitement should they score here.
Yes, this is not just about an opening weekend win. It's the derby element as well. And that is what you can feel now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, last season, Miles, I mean, Leicester won here at Gloucester, but they bounced back by winning at the Rec, and they beat them here again. And I know some Gloucester fans who still say we didn't have a bad season last year. They didn't make the playoffs, but they beat Bath home and away. That's a slightly antediluvian view, but it does mean a lot here.
As that scrum is stuck this time. Delve, Lawson, Sarpolu, Robinson. It's going to be the long pass, and it's Voice. Oh, and he'd taken that. He had Sharples outside. Now it's Gloucester who have to defend, but no advantage, and we're back for that knock on.
They're going well in the midfield. The new boys, Sarpolu, using his presence to pick the men, and again Robinson, he waits, he assesses, and that's a good pass, and that ball should have been given there. Sharples, you feel, was in. If Voice could have done this side what Sarpolu did the other side, Gloucester could have had their second try there. Well done, Abendinen, but should Tom Voice have got that ball away?
Yes, a man of his experience should have done, really, but as you say, credit to Abendinen. Robinson, good start. He'll be pleased, his new supporters will be pleased, and certainly his new boss, Brian Redpath, even though Dean Ryan was the man who signed him.
Now, Sarpolu's holding Bath, he's bringing them up. You can see the Bath midfield there, and just look at Robinson, the quality of this path. Bath comes steaming up into the midfield, and Robinson just cuts him out. Oh, give and take that one. Sharples scores. It's not easy, but at this level, Voice will feel he could have done better. Nice variety from the Gloucester midfield.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Claessen's strike rate for Bath as a try score is superb. It's about 1 in 5 games, but he's not getting many opportunities in this first half. Skirving.
Play on. Ball was out.
Claessen's the defender here, but maybe defense about to turn into attack. Voice. That's a beautiful offload. Simpson-Daniels stepping. Great combination that between two men who've been around in the Premiership now, know exactly what they're doing.
No ruck fight, you're not the tackler.
To create space. Robinson. And for Voice, that is a frustrating end to it all. He created so much. It's another drop, though, from the fullback.
This is good from Voice, and it's ambitious. Bath are kicking ball away in their 22. Gloucester are trying to run it, and Simpson-Daniel, low slung to the ground, is stepping so strong there. Constant threat from the Gloucester backs here at the moment, and Robinson, we've seen him go wide this time. Well, the pass is a bit high, but you feel Voice just got there a fraction early. Variety very good.
Gents, that's a blood replacement.
David Flatman is going off.
Thanks very much.
Blood injury. Honest. David Barnes comes on.
Knock on red, scrum down blue.
Also Duncan Bell on the bench. Remember, 2 props in reserve these days. This match day squad of 23, Dickinson and Capdeville, the former Brive prop, another experienced player, 35 years of age now, the Frenchman. Gloucester's reserve men in that department. Here's Davis. And off the firm ground it goes out.
And again, though, Bath are playing some straightforward territorial rugby, but they're not getting to Brown and Atwood very much. And it's Gloucester who are controlling this. Bath aren't just keeping the ball in their hands long enough to get their game going at all. I don't think I can remember their pack offloading once so far. And that's the Bath game, and if Gloucester stop them offloading, they won't mind if Ryan Davis prods it 30 metres and gives Gloucester the line out.
2, take a step.
Azam is out until September the 17th. Suspension he picked up in the Anglo-Welsh final last season. Lawson going well. He did have that one throw that wasn't straight.
Leave it, 3 red, leave it.
So far, so good for Gloucester in the line-out. Here's Maddock.
Carried back, lads, carried back.
And Bendinen.
Out you come.
Robinson.
He's into this, isn't he?
Come out of the 10, guys. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Dell flying after this. Claessen's good pass under pressure. But it's Bath who are being put under pressure, isn't it?
And from that pressure, you see, OK, it's not a bad kick, but they've kicked it away, and Voice will come back and he'll push Bath deep again.
And it's Ryan Davis. Forced to play it.
6 blue, do not move.
Suits Gloucester, this does.
Sharples to Onasapolu. Here goes Robinson. Oh, he saw some space there and he galloped into it. Excellent again from the fly half.
No, leave it.
But sufficient cover. Crowd didn't like the tackle. They won't be so bothered about that one, but the referee is.
Well, looks pretty cynical, but I think Nick Bendinen milked that a little bit as well. There's certainly an element of dive. Sarpalu, he knows that Bendinen does tumble somewhat easily on occasions.
First viewing, I'm with you. I think he did make the most of it, although it probably was a penalty. We'll no doubt have another look. David Barnes has gone back off. Flatman bandaged up is back on.
Let's go.
Well, here we can see it. Bendinen always looking for what's on. He basically moves Sarpalu about half a metre into his flight path. I guess it's a penalty. But I think Bendinen doesn't have to try and milk it quite so much, quite so often. We know that he's a dangerous player, and it'll be counterproductive in the end with officials.
Claessen's Davis. Happy.
Roll tacklers, off your feet.
Claessen's doing his best to free it quickly. And then through the hands doesn't work, but the referee didn't like Gloucester this time coming up offside.
Fumanu Sarpalu this time penalised. I think that was the first offload we've seen from a Bath forward. It was a lovely pass from Peter Dixon, and that's Bath at their best, and they've worked the penalty. And this penalty becomes a highly pressurised kick for Ryan Davis. 10-3, nothing in it from a Bath perspective. 10-0 down, 3 penalties missed by Davis. Big problems. Bath's third offload this game, the first by a forward, and that's beautiful from Dixon. But Sarpalu had come up, but he's already been penalised. Dixon actually took the fact that the former teammate was offside and still got it away.
We saw in our first live game of the day how important it was for the Northampton Saints to get back into it before half-time. In the end, it really counted. Saints just beating Worcester 2017. Dramatic finish there. Not quite as many points here so far, but similar scenario. Bath needs something as we approach the interval. Davis, is he the man to supply it? Now he's gone the other way.
That's a real problem. That's a big problem. Now, if you miss them all the same way, you can work out what's going wrong, but then you readjust and you hook it when you've been slicing it. In your head, you're saying, how am I going to drill this one metaphorically straight down the fairway? Ryan Davis will have some nagging demons, whereas his opposite number, I think Nicky Robinson, will think, hey, this Premiership game's pretty easy.
Charged down Robinson at the restart, but he took it back in straight away with a fair deal of fortune, it has to be said. Selvey was in front of him. He's also in the way here, and he has to retreat, otherwise he's going to be offside as Bendinen chases his kick. And Ryan Davis knows he's going to get a run in the team. Ollie Barkley is out at least until mid-October. Butch James, we're talking Christmas time before he's back after that injury last season. Robinson couldn't wait to get there as soon as the penalty was awarded. He's going to go from here.
Oh, the assistant referee has got his flag out there. There's a danger of frustration. All these penalties. Penalty initial goes Gloucester's way. Andy Hazel is... Oh, Andy Hazel, right foot stamp on a Bath calf there.
Yes.
With a boot.
Yes.
Straight down onto blue calf, which was outside the ruck.
Okay. Recommendation, please.
Recommendation, yellow card.
Okay, so it's 7 red.
Yes.
Okay, yellow card. Thank you.
Can't
7,
argue with any
please.
of that. It's been spotted by Roy Maybank. Relayed to Andrew Small. Reckless from
it doesn't
Hazel.
matter.
At best, it was reckless.
Well, it was deliberate, wasn't it? He targeted that. That calf was nowhere near a ball.
Talk to you later, Mike.
Andy Hazel very frustrated. Now, I'm not condoning what Hazel has done there, but referees, we talked about it early on, sometimes if you get lots of penalties at breakdown, you do need to establish some authority, because you do get an element of frustration. You still can't do what Andy Hazel has done, but that is what happens sometimes when teams persistently infringe there.
No, I hear what you're saying, but it is important, so important to underline the fact that, you know, Hazel could have ended a guy's career there.
I mean, he didn't go down hard. I don't know whether it was quite that bad, but he certainly had intent to hurt him. It was cynical, it was absolutely deliberate, it was yellow, agreed.
It was calf, he gets anywhere nearer the knee. Had to go. Some would argue he should have got something more than yellow.
I'm changing my thoughts, but I'll still stay yellow for that one.
Stay there, stay there.
I'm coming round.
Stay here. Yes, that is. That's out.
Anyway, the upshot is, as Adwell comes careering in, the ball adjudged to be out, so he wasn't coming in offside. The upshot is that Bath have, either side of half-time, the extra man. Can they make it count?
I tell you what, Atwood's having a dream, though. He's playing like two men, isn't he? But Bath have to make something of this. Here's the element of frustration. Ball being killed. Hazel just says, this is getting on my nerves, but you can't do that.
Strokosz with that burst away. Wilson nearly offside there, is warned by the referee. The Bath prop was about to fringe. Here's Cheeseman.
We bounced Mike Tyndall, and he's strong pumping there.
He's been strong right the way through this first half, Tom Cheeseman. More than one occasion he's held up the Gloucester tacklers. But that's not slick, to say the least. And that's gone forward too.
Not functioning at all, the Bath backline, are they? There's an element of overrunning. It really does feel like an early September day. In contrast, Gloucester looking sharp. You know, that's a poor pass there from Davis, and then the ball pulled back by Hooper. Clearly forward to Abendon, and he's not going to get away with it. Bath forwards there should have just picked that up, driven again, and set. That was impatient. Could I just go? I wanted to just say
Greg Somerville, 66 caps for New Zealand over the years, former Crusader, top professional.
He knows a few things, doesn't he? He knows a few things, Somerville.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Penalty.
Offside. Offside.
Claessens.
That one you were bound, yes. You do not have time for a line-out. You do not have time for the line-out.
Hurting Bath, isn't it, this penalty count?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's slightly ironic that Gloucester are the man with someone in the bin, but that was a bad offence. Bath could get another one. Bath are the team who have the problems. Gloucester have looked sharper. Bath have smuggled a bit of ball, given too many penalties away. Right now, the Gloucester crowd will be very happy. It looks very cherry and white at the moment.
Gloucester won at Bath last season in Game 2, ending that long wait for league victory on Bath soil. And they won here, doing the double.
And here at King's Own by 10 points to 0. Let's hear from injured Gloucester fullback Ollie Morgan. He's talking to Graham Simmons.
He is indeed, Simon. Thank you very much. How pleased, Ollie, will Brian Redpath be in there at half-time, 10-0 up?
I think he'll be really happy. You know, a lot of the stuff we've been doing in pre-season has been pretty effective today, and you know, a lot of the pattern and the way we want to play is been shown. So I think he'll be very happy, along with 9 and 10 who are sort of constructing it.
You mentioned 9 and 10. Talk about Nicky Robinson for a second. Looks like he's been there for a long time, certainly longer than he has. Should the bouquets be his, or should the bouquets belong to the guys in front of him who are providing him with the ball?
I think the bouquet should be for him, but it's a team effort at the end of the day, and Nicky puts us in the right positions of the pitch. So he's done very well.
You've dominated a lot of the first half, but first score second half is important, isn't it?
Very important. I think whoever scores first will probably go on to win the game. So I hope it's a Gloucester.
Ollie, thanks very much for your time.
Cheers.
Enjoy the second half.
Thank you.
Miles Harrison, Stuart Barnes, where are you up there? Enjoy.
Thanks, Graham. Ollie Morgan, of course, out injured at the moment, as Graham was saying. Leslie Vainikolo also nearly able to come back, not quite. You think about the players that have gone: Lamb, Adams, Cooper, Allen, Foster, Bolshaw, Barkley, Walker. That's just the backs. It's a new-look Gloucester, no doubt about that.
Hey, I tell you, Ollie Morgan, the team that scores first goes on to will. I don't know what his 15 mates on the pitch will think. His team are 10-0 up. Talk about negativity, Ollie. You're back next week, mate.
Here's Maddock for Bath.
Release Bath! No 3.
No changes from either side at half-time.
Tackler can't move. Play
With
on.
7 minutes left on the Andy Hazel sin bin.
Stop forwards. On now.
Here's Tom Voice.
Roll tacklers, you're off your feet. Roll. Stay here.
Robinson. Mike Tyndall.
Let him run, let him run.
Should fall for Nick Bendenon, and does. Good chase from Tyndall, though. And that was the story of the first half, really. Everything that Bath did was, it seemed, in a hurry.
Yeah, it was, and they did kick a lot. I think something maybe we need to think about more. Bath are very good counter-attacking. Sometimes they're reckless, but they need to get the adrenaline going, and it's not happening at the moment. They're playing territorial, and they're losing that one every time.
Hold. Yes.
Take from Atwood, having an excellent debut. Made the England Saxons squad against Italy in 2008. Catching the eye with this. Catching the ball was Joe Maddock. Clarsons. Ryan Davis.
Stop forward, stop. On now.
Delve will be encouraged to go forward here. Graham will like this if he takes on Bath,
Off your feet.
which he did, and he did it pretty effectively.
Stay here. Stay here.
Rory Lawson. Nicky Robinson. On his favourite side, and it was spiralled out towards Cheeseman. It did go back in the 22, but Bendenon wasn't going to plan on staying there. He's already over halfway.
What a difference, counter-attacking a Bendenon. What a threat.
That's what he does best.
Advantage.
And that break has led to a Bath penalty, and Michael Clarsons is going, and Gloucester weren't 10 metres, so they've got an easier kick if they want it, and they're going to get it because of the forward pass. Nick Bendenon is still down on the floor after that race away from his 22.
Big question here. Mike Clarsons looks to go very quickly. Let's just see. Andrew Small says the team are within 10 metres, and you can see, do they get back? There's an awful lot of players there. Clarsons goes. They're not back there 10. They actually haven't done badly, but just in the end, impatient. They slipped up there. Clarsons gets the penalty, but that's earned by a Bendenon, and a Bendenon's counter-attack, and then Michael Clarsons picking up the pace of the game. You feel if Bath are going to win, they've got to change the game. A Bendenon, he's kicked, and he hasn't kicked that well. Little show, and then he's gliding, and he's a beautiful runner. He picks off Somerville, nothing wrong with that. Mismatches is what you want. Beautiful play there. Very different sort of player. Dave Atwood debuting for Gloucester. And just watch this. Beautiful flight on the ball. Bath are competing, but Atwood is imperious. Aerial dominance there from the big man.
And it seems that Gloucester have made some good signings, the way the new signings have played today. And Bendenon is sitting up, which is good news. The initial checks all having been made by the medical team. And will he be able to stay on, though? It doesn't look good, just the expression on his face.
Now look at this. Ryan Davis, he's missed 3 kicks and he is going for the corner. Bear in mind, when Bendenon got the ball, he was in his own 22. He didn't kick it. Gloucester didn't have the line out. Bath are now 7 metres from the line. What a change.
Big change indeed. They have the extra man, of course, and they're looking to use it, but it was very kickable. Well, it should have been.
Well, it was.
Bath haven't looked like kicking their kicks today, and that's obviously part of the decision-making process too. So they're going with a try. Claessen's the man who made the call. Probably in conjunction with the coaching staff at half-time. That kind of change of theme. Dixon, Claessen's, Davis, Cheeseman, happy, Bendenon. Well, just getting in the way there. And it's adjudged to be an obstruction and a penalty. It was a big call, wasn't it, not to go for the 3 points there. It really was, considering the current score.
I felt that was hard on Nick Bendenon. I thought he overran that. I don't think there was anything deliberate. I think that was an accidental offside. Robinson will take his time. Very briefly, lads, just before the line out. Dowie, what does Michael Claessen's do to get Bath going? Is it a matter of high-risk rugby and picking up the pace?
I think that's what it is, Stuart. I mean, they played that way to get some type of pattern. There is absolutely no pattern out there, and that last incident there, that people get just getting in the way. I just think he needs the forwards to actually get some ball for him and actually drive it up, and then start playing their offload game, which they were so superb at last year.
Thanks, Dowie. Can I throw a question at you, Stuart? Would you have gone for the 3 points there or gone for the corner if you'd have been captain?
It's 10-0. It's a derby game. It's the first day of the season. Gloucester could tire. They could get nervous. You've got to ask your kicker to take 3 from that range.
Robinson. Tyndall. Lawson. Well, no panic there from Somerville. Trademark of his. He's been around, he's done it.
You asked me the question 30 seconds ago, would you have taken the penalty? Gloucester aren't going to go for the corner here. If they do, I'll be very surprised. And suddenly, you know, what could have been 10-3 could be 13-0. And that is a long way to go. It's gettable. It's only 2 converted tries and there's 35 minutes to go. But I just think in these situations, you have to go for them.
Accumulation. Mike Tyndall is down now. That's why Gareth Delve was the man to make the decision to go for the post there, assuming captaincy. They're co-captains this season, of course.
Hey, Will, Miles put the question to me, would you have taken 3 points? I said yes, being a cynical old so-and-so. What would you have done, mate?
Dowie called me a conservative. Absolutely had to take the points. In the Northampton game with 10 minutes ago, I think they turned 2 or 3 down at 17-13. I felt they should have taken those then. In the end, they got away. Diggins scored the try. But when you get gifted points in tight games at the start of the season, you absolutely take them every time.
Well, looking to take the 3 points here for his side. Nicky Robinson, he's using most of the minute with Hazel in the sin bin, but he hasn't got those 3 points, so it stays at 10-0. Meanwhile, Tyndall has gone off, and that means a Gloucester debut in the Premiership for Tim Molinar. The signing from Nottingham. There he is. And Hazel is about to come out of that sin bin. Maybe now Gloucester grateful that they had the centre reserve on the bench. They only made that change, remember, in the warm-up when Apo Satala pulled a muscle. And Benderton. Well, he was outside his 22. This is well inside Gloucester's, but not far enough as far as Robinson is concerned. So put down for the 22. Here comes Hazel.
Well, that's good news for Gloucester. Tyndall going off is bad news. I think the boys in the studio correctly identified that Hazel was in the bin, but he probably got the better of Salvi. Defensively, he's been very important at the breakdown. But Mike Tyndall's a very important man. He's an organiser. He's going to be a blow for Bath. It was only a matter of time before they brought some of their impact subs. We haven't seen Banahan yet, but Lee Mears, Lions hooker, he's on. Bath have some very useful men to change their game.
Interesting selection at the start, Peter Dixon. But now it's Mears. And who we saw on the British and Irish Lions tour, of course. Selection for the first test, then he lost the slot. He's on now for Bath, and there's work to be done. It's Fuma Onus Apollo, the former Bath man, and he's relishing the challenge against his old club. Good pass that from Lawson, then Somerville too. And then the other Lawson, Scott Lawson, nearly got it going on to James Simpson Daniel. The crowd were encouraged by that. There's some good skill.
Good targets as well. Sarpalu is doing very well. Bath a little bit slow onto the ball. Claessen's ripped from him, and then he's so balanced, isn't he? Very strong. He just busts through Flatman. He has absolutely no problem going around Stuart Hooper, getting Gloucester over the gain line. You got an inside centre who can bust up like that. It does make it easy for Nicky Robinson. It gives him lovely options just to go short or longer.
Both teams, gentlemen, both teams. Yeah. Touch, move your arms back. Touch and move your arms back. There's the mark.
Some big lads in the back row these days.
Touch. Pause, engage.
Andy Beattie's 32 years of age today.
And assuming even more responsibility with no Michael Lippman in the back row.
He's lost his feet here. Yeah,
And with Alex Crockett having been forced out of Bath, Beattie's been there so long. It's a club that does have this tight local feel, and Beattie's been there so long. He's also got to be a soul of the team to a certain extent now. There's not many West Country boys, and the West Country boys know how important the next 31 minutes are here.
Sole of the boots, the issue there, as the referee pulled the scrum away to some firmer ground. It is cutting up, considering it's day one.
Oh, it's rained this summer in the West Country, Mars.
No. Grucock.
It's been quiet, hasn't he?
Take half a step. One, take half a step.
Claessen's bumping his way through, and it was Skirving, and he did well to find Salvi, and Salvi shows a bit of pace there. He got away from centre Fuma Onus Apollo, and it's Strokos who has to track back to make the tackle. Quick ball here, could be killer ball for Bath. They're coming this way though, and they've given it to Simpson Daniel, and they might have shot themselves in the foot. Simpson Daniel is going to coast it. Well, they should have gone left, they went right. And is that the moment?
Wow. Julian Salvi makes probably Bath's first really decisive break. Claessen's dithers, he hasn't been at his best today. They go the wrong way. And one of the heroes of Gloucester, Simpson Daniel, the antithesis of old Gloucester. A gorgeous run-in talent, scores his second try, but he's been a hero in these parts for a long time. Picks it up from his bootlaces. He's not going at any pace when he gets the ball, but he's got acceleration. 75 metres to go or not. You cannot give this man that sort of opportunities. Claessen hustled, and Simpson Daniel, even at that stage, he's smiling. He knows he's gone. Bath 2 may have gone.
Half an hour to go, but that is a big lead now for Gloucester. And Simpson Daniel knows it. 2 tries for him. Robinson should really get the 2 from here. And Bath are looking at a deficit of 17-0.
And it's not as if Bath really could say, well, it's a splattering scoreline. It hasn't been. Claessen's speculative there under pressure. It's only going to David Wilson. Wilson can't get there. Simpson Daniel off the bootlaces. He glides in, second try.
Looking at numbers, there might have been a sniff on that side, but Bath's attacking numbers were on the left there.
The other thing, Bath didn't blitz that breakdown and get the quick ball that Gloucester did get at times in the first half, and that made it easier for Lawson and Claessens to get the ball away.
Off goes Nick Wood.
Time on.
And that's Dickinson who's come on.
Backwards, play on.
Banahan on.
And calling for it on this near side. He's got no chance of getting it just yet because it's Gloucester ball. And Robinson. Rory Lawson. Tom Voice. Fuma Onusapolu. And there's Banahan.
Vantage knock on. Straight in.
And Hazel incurring the wrath of the referee again. Claessens doesn't like the fact that Rory Lawson kept hold of the ball.
You're the captain. Lead by example.
Well, what example is Michael Claessens meant to accept? So I say, old boy, could I have the ball when you're ready? It's something referees do not pick up in this game. They never do it. The crowd boo at the opposition player because he's trying to get the ball back so he can take his team's penalty. And then the villain gets away with it.
And Simpson Daniel is far from the villain here. He's the hero of the day so far.
He's a marvellous talent. I think most people who regularly listen to Sky know what I think about James Simpson Daniel, especially going forward. There's not a more exciting winger in the Premiership. Of that, there's no doubt.
A lot of tries in this back three in the Premiership. Mentioned earlier, Tom Voice's 58. Well, at the start of the day, James Simpson Daniel was on 45. He's now on 47. In the history of this competition, Bath needs something almost straight away here.
Come out, Tim.
If they've got any chance of getting back.
Vantage.
They've got a penalty advantage. And Andrew Small will now give that penalty. And if Claessens is prevented by Strokos from playing that, I think he might flip, but he wasn't.
Time off. Who's the captain?
Dell's lost his boot.
Right. That's two infringements here. Two players, no number, collapsing them all down here. Okay, we've had offside players here as well. Let's not have any more. You've got 30 seconds, go and talk to them. Yep, time is still off.
Very much what happens there. You heard Andrew Small saying, got to stop, you've got 30 seconds to explain. When you're 17-0 up, you tend to think, well, we can just keep committing until we get the warning, because they're not going to take the 3 points. I mean, there is an argument to say Bath actually should take the 3 points to give themselves a chance of 2 tries, but I don't think they're going to. And so Gloucester think, until the warning, we can keep infringing. Now Andrew Small has to be strong if Gloucester infringe again, because he's given the warning.
And that's why Bath and their kicker should have taken it at 10-0, because then Gloucester think, well, we're getting punished for giving these, and we have to think twice. Who protects? Wilson's there. It's about tries now for Bath. Now they let it slip to 17. They'll pull into this scrum. Not an entirely popular decision with the majority of the King's Home faithful.
It's a very big call now for the Bath backs. Carraro standing on the right wing, Banahan's on the left wing. They'll want to get Banahan into a little bit of space there against young Charlie Sharples, but Bath need to fix Gloucester. Had an impact for England. He's a strong man, but Bath needs something massive and very quickly from their big man.
Well, impact here because Skirving's going off, Wilson's going off, Hooper's gone. And on come Bell, Short, Farmatois anew. Mass changes from Bath as they look to change the course of the match.
Just a slip, gentlemen. These guys slipped here, so did these. Let's come this way, please.
Maddock at fullback, Banahan on one wing, Carrara on the other, Bendon and gone.
Release on the
Confirm the
touch.
latest set of changes there for you on the
Get your
screen.
feet, gentlemen, get your feet. Crouch. Touch. Boards, engage.
Carraro is lurking.
There you go.
But the scrum is struggling.
Hey.
Initially because of the ground
No
again.
Don't need that. Don't need it. Get on with your jobs.
For Martuiano, come on. I wouldn't say he's the Premiership's outstanding 80-minute number 8, but he's a guy with tremendous acceleration and the ability to do the unpredictable. And he again, along with Banahan and Mears, is a very useful substitute.
Use it now, use it.
Martuiano is caught though at the base. Both he and Claessens look to the referee. Might have been a fatal delay.
Don't pull the scrum half.
Claessens is coming round. Shonten happy, missed out Cheeseman. Well, Maddock went for the volley. Now Banahan is going to have all sorts of pressure from Sharples there.
That's pretty
Back on the call.
That's pretty poor from Shonten Harpe there. Compare that attacking move with Gloucester's in the first half. The accuracy of Nicky Little. Harpe, when he's asked for the big path, just can't produce the quality. Doesn't give Banahan a chance. You don't get that many opportunities. You have to be better than that.
Akapusi Ongera. Gloucester missed him last season when he was out. He's on. And Andy Hazel back off because, of course, he's been in the sin bin in this match. All that does is endear him even more to the Gloucester fans. From Martuiano to Banahan.
Tackle away, thank you.
Claessens, Beattie. Approaching the final quarter of the match. Bath still without a point. Flatman.
No way.
Claessens, Davis. Plenty of men there for Gloucester in defence.
Because Atwood came up very quickly again. Very athletic and mobile man.
He's often leading the line, the defensive line, isn't he, the second row? Claessens has had to deal with some pretty shoddy ball coming back today from both scrum and ruck. And it's been stolen on the floor. Ongera with that steal. And here goes Molinar. Well, he was brought to add beef to the midfield, and that's what he tried to show there. Rory Lawson to Scott Lawson. Robinson. Little spin on that one. Takes it out, and territorial gain is big there for Robinson and his side.
Yeah, that's a 17-0 lead kick, isn't it? Last season, at times, Gloucester and Bath themselves sometimes would just be excited in that winning situation, end up throwing a bad pass, intercept 17-7. Robinson thinks we're in control. Come on, Bath, play from deep. Lovely decision there.
Good start between Mears and Grucock there. They are playing from deep. And Shonten Happy nearly got through there. The first line. He got a pass in. Might have been interesting. Still might be interesting. Maddock. Banahan.
You're off your feet.
Claessens.
Hey, roll clear, tackler.
Gareth Dell nearly on the wrong side. Referee shouting at him. For Martuiano.
Tackler, release him.
Claessens. Here's Grucock.
Roll tackle, 12.
Mears. So very game and brave from Bath, but it's got to lead to something here. Beattie dislodged again. Gloucester standing firm in defence. And Simpson Daniel is sniffing a hat-trick here. It's all about the bounce of the ball for Banahan. Gets away from Simpson Daniel.
Backwards.
Carraro. And he's done well. Front line, it's Scotty.
Yeah, Andy Hazel goes off, and the one thing that they're actually doing is making a mess of this Bath contact area. 17 points is all very well, but it's the nil that'll impress them. Look, he goes down, he's the tackler, he can get in there, comes away, great turnover. They've made that Bath contact area a mess all afternoon.
And while Scott was putting that clip together, he probably didn't have time to see the hit that came from Ongera that led to the next turnover. We've talked about some of Bath's impact subs. No one's better than Ongera, a sensational player when he's fit, and he looks pretty fit at the moment.
Hold!
Lacked sharpness when he came back last season. Ongera, you'll be the first to admit that it was a layoff that took it out of him. But if he's back to full fitness this season, then it has to be good news for Gloucester. That's not particularly good news for Gloucester. That one just drifting out, and Bath will throw in, but their need is even more urgent now. We're in that final quarter.
Yeah, that was a sloppy kick from Lawson, wasn't it? He was looking for the box kick. He was looking for Simpson-Daniel to put Carrara under pressure. He just gave Bath a good attacking position. Oh, good ball.
From Claessens. Great reverse pass, that. Shontaine happy. Now, he threatened before. He got through that time. Now, is the support there? Through goes Atwood, and the referee didn't like that one. Davis. Bath want more than a penalty. They want a man in the sin bin again. That's what would really help.
And 7 points.
Yeah. So not too much then.
Entry.
It was against Atwood.
There you go.
And it was pretty cynical too.
Yeah, but you forget, you give a warning 10 minutes ago, and then if you can not concede a penalty for 5 or 6 minutes, or up to that 10 minutes, you're all right. And it's an issue. And Atwood knows it.
Yeah, I know. That's why he's not going to the bench.
And Atwood would be very pleased. Not even a warning. Beautiful pass from Michael Claessens. We're probably approaching last chance for Bath in terms of getting the score to get them back in this game. Claessens, we saw there, he's got the hands to do it.
Mears Grucock once more. But will the scoreboard change? Trying to get that more rolling.
Let it go, 7, 6, let it go.
Tis going forward, no doubt about that. And forward and on.
Time off.
It will be checked.
Pretty
There's a few
relentless.
layers to peel back here.
Jeff Warren, can you hear
Pretty
me?
relentless, wasn't it?
Jeff, can you tell me if a try has been scored, yes or no?
The great Jeff Warren from Bristol. You couldn't be more neutral than that. Gloucester Bath and a Bristol man. It's Famartianu.
Well, the question from Andrew Small is the key one. Simple yes or no. It's not, is there any reason why I can't give the try, which of course puts us into totally different areas.
Yeah, hold on, I need to hear him. Hang on a sec. Yeah, hang on a sec.
I'm not seeing anything as yet. Maybe, is that it? No, that's a boot.
There it goes, but is that up to, it's not up to the line yet. Well, there's the ball. Where's the try line? Here we go. Here we go. The drive is over the line.
Now in this one, we start to see the ball about a third of the way along your screen from the left.
There it is.
There it is.
But where's the try line? The ball is grounded, but is it? Well, that's definitely short at that stage, isn't it?
We'll try another angle.
Here we go.
Quite short there. Just short.
You can't
Got
give
there,
up.
I think.
Yes, I am, Jeff.
The decision, not the ball.
Okay, grounded short of the line, so scrum 5, attack ball. Okay. Short, scrum 5, attack ball.
Thought that would be met to some resounding applause. Right decision.
No, wait for their seconds.
There again, Jeff Warren never makes a wrong one.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
You become an agent as Jeff Warren on your books.
Both of you. Crouch. Touch, pause, engage.
Bath look to conjure up something from this, but it's not going to be a pushover. It's going to be Davis to Happy to Maddock. All those tries last season, desperate for one miss, but he's given it a voice now. Now, can Tom Boyce stretch his legs and go? He's got up to halfway, and oh, the ball inside to Sharples was the one, and Sharples was gone. Had he taken that, he was away.
Oh, well, that must be the end for Bath. It could have been ignominious. Maddock has to try and force the pass there straight in, ignominious even, straight into the hands of Tom Boyce.
Time off.
Might once have got there. He's not this time, and the pass lacks a little bit of sympathy there for Charlie Sharples. But from Gloucester's point of view, that would have been the icing on the cake.
Marco Bortolami replaces Alex Brown. David Barnes is back on for David Flatman in the Bath front row.
Time on.
Just looks like it's destined to be one of those days for Bath.
Crouch.
I think things haven't clicked.
Engage.
Up comes Iliota Fuima Onosapolu.
It's a charge, isn't it?
Wasn't really a tackle. As you say, just a charge. No attempt to use the arms.
8 and 6, red, walk away.
No attempt to remember who his mates used to be.
Ancient history as far as Sarpolu is concerned.
Got to bind, got to use your arms.
Not high, not dangerous, but illegal. Andrew Small, quite right. I think it's fair to say he's relished his afternoon, the former Bath inside centre. No.
That's you there, thank you.
Ryan Davis hit very hard there, but it's not dangerous, it is illegal.
Did Ryan Davis owe Fuima Onosapolu a club fine after last season? Goodness gracious, he meant that, didn't he?
Line out's over.
Here is Davis, he's okay, and
Rotate
Cheeseman trying to show a bit of that power again.
Strokos very strong in the challenge. Oh,
Famatwanu
Backwards.
trying to get the offload in,
Backwards.
and just about did. Claessens, plenty of men this side for Bath. Grucock is one of them. That was an intelligent line, and it's lovely hands from Maddock. Carraro's there as well, taken on by Happy. They have scored a truly memorable try. And if they keep doing that, they will be a force to be reckoned with. Was anything forward there? Is that the reaction of the crowd, or was it a foot out?
No, I think the reaction of the crowd is it's a Bath try.
Because I didn't see anything wrong with it.
No, it's a West Country derby. That was great play from Bath. Danny Grucock, very forceful. Davis's delay is a good one. Grucock carries on. Well, that's what the call is for, I think. Brilliant play from Carrara there, and Harpe supports very well. Like to see it again. Grucock, very hard on that angle.
Yes, that's why the crowd didn't like it.
I think they're thinking two calls. Did Danny Grucock throw it forward, and then did Carraro's right foot touch the touchline?
Touching the touchline now because he's got a touchline conversion, and he's thrown Bath a lifeline. think Carraro was fine. It was more than fine. It was brilliant play. Now, can he convert? No, he can't. Which, of course, will get the reverse reaction from the crowd as they give him the bird.
Right, does he get anywhere near the touchline? He does extremely well, and he offloads that plenty of time before. Good play, that. Things were happening in a hurry, but he seemed to take his time. He made the decision, got it right. 17-5, Bath have a lifeline, but they also have longer term. They've got a real problem goal kicking.
And they could have done with those 2 points as well in the context of this match. Still, it will get Gloucester thinking. And remember Gloucester's problem last season, just not finishing off teams or letting teams come back at them, not just last season either. And now Bath suddenly have an energy about them. Here's Peter Short. Ryan Davis, Cheeseman, Shantaine Happy to Carraro. There is time here for Bath, there is time. Salvi was there again, but there might not be time if Glos get another score, and that's holding on, says the referee.
Nicky Robinson will probe this one down to the touchline, down into the corner. Last place Bath want to be.
Chasers, gentlemen, please.
Robinson lines it up. And he's gone right for the corner. He's got the corner. We go to the front line in Scott Quinnell.
Well, this is why the knowledgeable King's Own crowd, maybe there was a little air in their voice. Danny Crookock, you see the 22 there, just in front of him. Give the pass. Where's Maddox? A couple of yards over. Very knowledgeable crowd down here at King's Own.
Scott Quinnell nailing one of his own. Spot on though, Scotty.
Not spot on at the line out. Scott Lawson and Selvey, the man who keeps giving penalties away, but here he has got rid of the ball. And Voice.
Banahan will not kick this back. Surely. He will.
He does. Sharples caught by Banahan.
Good
and this
kick.
will be a Bath throw-in.
A very
Of course,
good
what
kick.
Scott didn't. Sorry, it was the fingernail in from Simpson Daniel. It wasn't forward. No, I'm only joking.
And are they manicured, these fingernails? Very different sort of player, Matt Banahan, to James Simpson Daniel. But a pretty effective kick. Still got time, Bath.
Claessens, Davis, Happy, Cheeseman, Banahan. Good ball to Maddock. He's got Carrara outside, and they've proved how dangerous they are. Beattie.
18, get off the ball.
Claessens. Mears. You can feel Gloucester twitching here. Davis. Claessens. Farmer you. Oh, that's a handoff. Oh, and he nearly broke through the tackle. Claessens again. Grucock. Belief building all the time from Bath. Claessens. Davis. Missed out Selvey, given to Happy. And Simpson Daniel certainly got something on that. And there's a very important something as well for Gloucester.
Well, James Simpson Daniel has scored 2 tries, but that intervention is very important. If Bath lose their discipline, and they might just have lost the game there. Had a good scrum position. And Robinson will probably fire this into their half.
We could say a lot of things about Bath conceding that penalty there, but at the top of the list would be stupid.
If one wanted to be polite in one's choice of words.
Depends which list you select, and I would have thought Steve Mear might pick another list.
Yeah. Well, the Australians have a very colourful dictionary, don't they? That was an opportunity for Bath to put some pressure on, and all it's done, it's relieved it for Gloucester. And again, Nicky Robinson, from a pretty tight angle, has found a good touch.
Delve, Rory Lawson. Selby was threatening the interception, as he has done all afternoon.
He's got an engine. I mean, he's given some penalties away, but he keeps going.
Keeping going there is Gareth Delve. Strokosz with that extra little bit of weight just to bump his men on and keep Bath off it. Bortolami and Guerra. A few more minutes and Gloucester will start to feel that they're safe. They're not there yet. And Nicky Robinson is the insurance policy again.
That's why they signed him. Ryan Lamb, gifted local player. A lot of talent, as Will was saying before the game, but here's a man at the top of his game, and his decision-making has been immaculate. He's been well served by his big men in front of him, but he has repaid that with an exquisite choice of decisions.
Farmer-Twightenue with the leap and take. Claessens. Simpson-Daniel wriggling away. Lawson, Ungera.
He's back.
It's a great sight. Not for Bath, of course, but for the neutral, that kind of explosive play. And certainly for the Gloucester fans. But it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And Bath still maybe, just still maybe in this.
Well, Bath also have got a chance, you know, it's a bonus point as well, a converted score. It gives them something. And frankly, if you go to Kingsholm and you come away 4 points for Gloucester, 1 for you, it's not the end of the world. And Bath's first target has to be 12 points and stopping Gloucester getting any more. Then they can dream. The reality is trying to get a converted try from here.
Change at scrum half for Gloucester. Dave Lewis, you might remember, was injured in one of our games on Sky Sports last season. Young player, well, he's bounced back and he's on for Rory Lawson. He also played very well in the under-20 international competition in Tokyo in the summer.
15, red ball.
Gloucester get the knock on. They, because of that, should have got the match as well.
Well, Bath's line-out was superb last year. On their own throw, they were rock solid. There was no team in England could live with them. On their throw, they always guaranteed ball. That was the time in this match to win quick ball at the back, give themselves a chance. They've blown that, and they've probably blown their hopes now of a win. They've still got the bonus point to aim for.
Delve.
Release it 8!
Lewis.
Inside,
Nice
inside.
early touch and pass to Robinson. Yes, the bonus point has moved the landscape on these games, and it's been such an excellent and positive move for the game, no doubt about that.
9 and 10 blue substitution, 9 and 10.
To try and get at least that point on Beeman and Little for Bath. Half-back change.
Time on.
Mears, Farmer-Twightenue, Beeman, Little, Happy. You know, if Bath score here the way the Premiership certainly went last season and has continued
Let him release it. Thanks.
this weekend, nothing certain in this league.
Roll tackles, you're off your feet.
If you thought it was, then you would have an awful lot of egg on your face last season.
Roll out, 8, roll out. Arrive up, lads, arrive up.
Beeman, Cheeseman, interception, Robinson! Well, he's bossed the game, he's had a magnificent debut. He's with Gloucester for the first time in the Premiership. And for Bath, Gloucester are becoming the neighbours from hell. Double last season, Robinson wasn't part of that, but he's been part of this. and now the win is done.
Well, Nicky Robinson teased Gloucester in last year's Heineken Cup. He ripped them to pieces. Today, he has just managed this game superbly. He's given his team shape. He's got the try that he deserved. The Shed have a new hero from across the 7. Today's Guinness Premiership Man of the Match, to no one's surprise, is going to be Nicky Robinson. He has been everything Dean Ryan wanted from him when he signed him. Brian Redpath will be delighted. A fine effort from the forwards, but this man put Gloucester in the right place from first minute to last. He's made a try, he's scored a try, he's had a superb debut.
And we're talking about the bonus point and how it's added to these contests. Well, now we can look at it from the other side of things. Gloucester going for a 4th try now in the final few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. A wonderful day for Robinson. Also a mention, though, for Dave Atwood, who hasn't been talked of in the same degree as Robinson. Alex Brown has gone off, but Dave Atwood has not gone off. The second row has been superb. He's a real find for English rugby.
Knock on advantage, knock on.
And Gloucester getting through their bench. Darren Davidoff has come on now. He's joined the club from Cornwall. And also out there, new signing Pierre Capdeville, the experienced French prop. Ladies' club was Brive, and who's played to the level of Francais. Penalty advantage for Bath. Here's Nicky Little, who's into cover for the injured James, and Barkley too, of course.
Ah, it's lovely. The season starts, and my dear friends in the Shed are singing to me. Aren't they wonderful people? I hope one of them will save a little bit of cider for when this game's over.
Big gap here, please. Step everyone down. Royston, I'm going to the back.
Delightful. To a man and woman.
Yep.
I love the Shed.
Hold!
Here's Beeman. Little. Cheeseman. Surely not another interception. Banahan. And it's back for the knock-on.
Scrum down.
We talked about Dave Atwood and how those in the know might know about him, but an awful lot didn't. And I seem to remember a lot of people said to me, hey, who's the bloke that humiliated Scott Quinnell on last season's crossbar challenge? He made Scott Quinnell look about as powerful as Ian Evans. Scott, he was too strong for you then. He's going to be too strong for a lot of second rows this year. He's a hell of a player.
Yes, he's come on really well, and I think the crossbar challenge, if it proves anything, we bring young boys through. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we went down to Bristol last year. He's such a big man, you know. He's got big hands, big shoulders, and I think he's put a bit of weight on over the summer. He's been working hard in the gym, and in fairness to him, he's come out and he's done his talking on the field where any good forward wants to do it.
Scotty, I'm with you, mate. I thought that was a pathetic attempt by Barnsley to try and deflect from the crowd, singing his name, to turn it onto you with a crossbar challenge defeat.
It's okay, because I know where he's going to be after the game, so there's no problem there.
And I'll be watching.
There was a time I could have run away, not anymore.
There's Robinson. It'll chip in behind, speculation maybe, but Gloucester looking for that 4th try. Carraro, final minute of the match. Apart from that excellent finish from Bath, tight in the corner, nothing else from them today. Been pretty well all Gloucester. And the scoreboard a fair reflection of the match, even though 1 or 2 of those tries have been courtesy of an interception.
Bath's with a forward pass as well, though. So.
Yep. Banahan. Early in the season to regroup. That's exactly what Bath have to do after this. It's not the end of the world to lose your first game. But a year ago, it was first weekend despair for Gloucester. It's not going to be today. Leicester raided Kingsholm then. So important for them to get away to a winning start. And in doing so, they might have set a different sort of tone for Gloucester's season. Here's Little and Bell. One less push from him. I suppose the professional thing to do for Bath here, they can't get a bonus point, would be put the ball off the field. Gloucester might be one of their, or should be one of their main rivals at the end of the season. They don't want to give away a bonus point. And they might do that here. Well, it's kicked out by Gloucester themselves. And of course now, the inevitable reaction from those Gloucester supporters who've known for a while, really, that their team was on course. One or two jitters after that Bath try. But Gloucester steadied things, or maybe Bath steadied it for them. What a contrast, as I say, from day one last season for Gloucester today, and who knows where they're going this season. And it is a clean sweep of semi-finalists losing on this first weekend. A clean sweep of defeats for the top four. Last year, Gloucester, well, they believe they should be in the top four, and that's a good way to start their challenge for a top four's place.
Yeah, one of the traditional giants of the English game put in a big performance there. Very accomplished behind the scrum. Atwood and Brown looking excellent pairing in the second row, and Nicky Robinson just put them into the right positions. I said before, Brian Redpath should be delighted with his Welsh fly half. In Simpson Daniel, they have got a consummate finisher. For Bath, there are worries again against the big guns. They're very lateral. They don't really threaten the try line. They were well beaten today. There are worries for Steve Meehan's men. There are reasons to hope. We know that the first weekend of the season is always a flattering position, win or lose, but Gloucester look good. They'll be delighted. No one more so than the man of the match, Nicky Robinson.
Yeah, team game, but no doubt one man stood out today. He was in the winning side because it was his debut. Great start for Nicky Robinson. He's with Graham.
Miles, thank you very much indeed. Nicky, I'm not sure what it is you dream about, but if you dream about rugby, was that the dream start?
Yeah, I probably would have taken that at kick-off, to be fair. Obviously, it's been a big week, big build-up and that, and I wanted to get out and put in a good performance, and so it's giving me so much to the club and support, so obviously the players, it was good to get a good win.
Experienced a campaigner as you are, Nicky, how nervous were you coming into this game today?
Yeah, I kept waking up early in the morning thinking about things like injuries and funny things like that, so it was a big build-up, but yeah, I was nervous beforehand, but I was just really glad to get the game done and wanted to get the W, which is really important for us.
What do you think worked really well for Gloucester today? Things that you've been talking about during the week, looking at it on the chalkboard? I
think defence has got to be a big plus. I mean, to keep Bath down to one try is obviously a big effort. They're a really good attacking force, like to offload. I think we stopped them offloading, especially well up into the last 10 minutes, but obviously defence was big, and we got some good ball as well. I think we've been struggling in pre-season games, just not be able to get that quick ball on the front foot, so we got a bit of that, and I think we showed what we can do.
So were you good, or did the forwards make you look good today, Nicky?
Yeah, no, I did appreciate the work the forwards put in, obviously, and obviously the backs outside and that. Gave a couple of dodgy passes to Tin, so I'm sure you appreciate that. But no, the forwards put all the hard work in. It's always we went up front in a game like this, so good work from them.
Talk us through your try. It was a bit of icing on the old cake, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did enjoy it, actually. My car started cramping up about 20 ago, so I was quite happy there was no one chasing me. But no, it was great. I kind of gambled a bit, but luckily he gave the ball, and I did enjoy the run-in, to be fair.
There weren't too many cherry and white supporters back in April after the EDF final who'd be giving you too much love. You'll get plenty of love here tonight, I would imagine. You won't need to buy a beer, will you, tonight?
Let's hope not, anyway. We'll see what happens. Anyway.
Have this to take home as well, Nicky. Guinness Premiership Man of the Match.
We've got a crate to Guinness.
Not bad. We'll talk about that later.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Great boy, well played. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure we can arrange something for him. Great start for Nicky Robinson. Great start for Gloucester, really. It's always sweet when they beat Bath. They did it twice last season, home and away, and they've kick-started their season with a 24 points to 5 win here at Kingsholm. So they're off to a winning start. The season is underway on Sky Sports.